anything this time. Hey everyone, it's Kristi. Welcome to the happy hour. I hope you guys are having a good afternoon, evening, morning, whatever time
I don't.
it is where you are. And it's me, Kristi, and my co-host Kevin. Hello, Kevin.
Hello there. I just want to say I don't. It's not that I wish you having a bad afternoon, evening, or morning or whatever. I just don't care. I don't know you. I've never met you. What the fuck would it matter to me? Jesus.
Well, considering
welcome to the Brexit hellhole that is Britain. Hello.
Yeah, I think we have to sort of read everything through the lens of Brexit right now for you.
Exactly. I've Brexited from life, I think, at this point. I'm just.
So, Kevin, what the hell is going on in your country? Nobody understands anything. So can you explain what the heck is going on?
It's a nice warm day. I've got windows open. So if you hear children screaming outside, that's because there are children screaming outside. But yeah, it's a nice sunny day. But politically, everything is gloomy. Oh, I'm like a fucking poet. Anyway, yeah, basically, Brexit is really fucked up at the minute. The Prime Minister's deal, which we discussed last time, that had been voted down twice, has been voted down a third time. Ironic, given that they keep saying that once a vote goes a certain way, you can't have a second vote. That would be crazy. But she's had a third vote and possibly might have a fourth vote next week. Who knows? But I suspect what will happen is probably some sort of general election will get called next week. But who knows? Literally, all options are back on the table. The third vote goes down. It went down by 58 votes today, which is significantly less than the first two. But they've tried every trick in the book, literally everything, including Theresa May promising, Theresa May, the Prime Minister, say, for those who don't know, promising to step down as Prime Minister in order to get people on board. People like Boris Johnson, who'd said that this was one of the worst deals he'd ever seen, but was voting for it because he wanted to get rid of May because he wants to become Prime Minister, because his Brexit policy is basically me. So, but I quite like one of the jokes that was said during the debate today when referencing the fact that May had said she was going to step down, but ultimately that really hadn't worked either, was that she was the first person in history to attempt to throw herself on the sword and miss. Which is fucking brutal, but true. Yeah. So she has basically she's Prime Minister in name only. Like, she doesn't actually command any confidence in the country. Her fucking deal had a 15%, 15% approval rating in the country, which is about as much as fucking childhood bone cancer or something ridiculous. Yeah, just horrificness, and I don't know where we go now. Literally everything's back on the table. No deals possible. Second referendum, revocation of Article 50. What will likely happen is some long extension for up to a year of the Brexit process in order for a general election to happen, because ultimately the problem is Parliament can't decide what the fuck it wants to do because there are so many conflicting interests at play and so many different political opinions at play that ultimately we need a new Parliament. Someone needs to get a majority and actually get something done.
Well, according to the polls, it would just be another Conservative government right now.
Very, very possibly, but it would also possibly be a hung Parliament.
Well,
hung Parliament. Hey.
But there's no sort of like, if it was a hung Parliament, that doesn't really solve the problem, because that's, you've got a supply and demand government now, and that they would just be trying to recreate that. So, but before we talk about that, I also wanted to have you explain the disaster that happened yesterday as well.
The disaster that happened yesterday
when they went through the indicative votes, were they called?
Oh yes. Sorry.
Yeah, we're back on Brexit. Sorry, yes, we're still on Brexit.
Okay. Yeah, I thought well, she's moved on. She hasn't asked me about anything else. Okay. Yeah, indicative votes. This is a novel
nightmare.
thing. Yeah, but a novel thing nonetheless. A change to the usual programming, so to speak, where Parliament took control completely, literally.
Oh, Kevin, you dropped out there. Oh, Kev's sound is gone entirely. Oh, can you start over? Your sound dropped out.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Yeah, the indicative votes. It was a brand new a brand new system of voting. Parliament completely took over. A guy called Oliver Letwin who is a backbench Tory MP, Sir Oliver Letwin, I should say, he would have become Chancellor of the Exchequer, the second most powerful dude, had John Major won the 2005 election. So that's how far back he was ever anything remotely powerful. But that didn't happen anyway, and so
Can I
he's
just
now
say
this backbench guy.
his name sounds like he should have been around in the days of Pitt the Younger.
Well, he has that kind of countenance as well. Like he
Mm.
looks like a guy who would have been, swearing allegiance to Victoria, along with the likes of Jacob Rees-Mogg, although Victoria was probably a bit modern for him. But anyway, yeah, he literally, Jacob Rees-Mogg outdid himself with his old school toughery by, in the debate yesterday, referencing Tudor law as a way of trying to argue around the current impasse. Tudor law. Like, are you taking the fucking piss? Like, are you, like, you've got to be trolling at this point. You've got to be like knowingly playing up to the character. You fucking, I mean, he's a twit.
They
He's a
went
twit.
deep in the cellar. They're deep in the cellar looking for ways out of this.
Exactly. Some fucker's going to come in with Magna Carta at some point and be like, look, it says right here. So anyway, apologies if you can hear, I don't know what the fuck, there's a motorbike going down the back pathway. Yeah, or some shit. I doubt it's anything as classy as a Vespa. It'll be some fucking hairdryer with wheels. Anyway, Anyway, so Parliament took control. Literally, they took what was it's usually would have been government time in Parliament, dictated by the government, but they voted literally to overrule that, and so that this indicative vote process could take place. So essentially, Oliver Letwin kind of became de facto prime minister in Parliament that day, which is really fucking strange. That's virtually never happened before. And so they had these votes where instead of just voting yay or nay, or aye and nay, or whatever the hang on, what did that? Aye and no is the way they go. Yeah. Instead of voting aye or no on one proposition each time, they had essentially a ballot list of 8 options. Varying from no deal to the Prime Minister's deal to a second referendum to Common Market 2.0 and all this fucking shit. And they voted down every one of them.
Yeah.
They literally voted down all 8 options. It's like there's those satirical kind of Onion style satirical online magazine things. One of them had a thing about an article, a humorous satirical article, which was headlined something like Parliament refuses to choose which dinner from a menu or something, and that's basically true. They had like a smorgasbord of options and voted for nothing.
Yep.
So, but the problem is then, well, the default would be no deal and we just leave. But they voted against that, so they voted for literally nothing. They've not voted for anything. They voted against some stuff, but they've never voted for anything. And you think, well, you can't go anywhere with that then. You've literally voted for limbo.
Well, this is it. I mean, it makes no sense to vote no deal when no deal is going to happen if they don't do anything. It's the default position. And
well, it is.
That's
and
like
it
saying,
because
I'm going to vote against pooping ever again. Like, you can't. It's going to have to happen eventually.
Well, yes and no, because I mean that's a natural process, Kristi. So it's a rather silly analogy, if you don't mind.
So is time and running out of it.
Well, true, but the problem we've already run out of it once, or technically we haven't quite run out of it. We were due literally today, this very day, right now, was the day we were supposed to be leaving at 11 p.m. precisely tonight, which would be midnight in Germanian time, I believe, was when we were supposed to be going, and we've extended that before. So the government have already ceded ground, and when the government cedes ground, Parliament will just push it there again. So essentially, what will happen now? I should probably explain the ramifications of the no vote today. Right. Had we voted yes, we would have gotten an extension from the EU of the Article 50 period, so basically the Brexit process, for until May the 22nd, specifically on that date, so that May the 23rd, which is the start of the European election, Parliament elections, we wouldn't need to take part because we'd have left. But having that vote now gone down, we've got an extension to April the 12th. Specifically chosen because on April the 10th and 11th, there is a European Council meeting where the heads of government of the European Union nations will get together, and Britain will have to provide a plan of some variety, which I think will be, because we've got votes and stuff next week in Parliament. Parliament will vote for an option the government can't or won't introduce, I should say, and so there will be a general election, I think, is what will happen. And so they'll go to the EU and say, look, we're having a general election. We need a massively long extension because there's going to be a new government. And the extension will, some of the experts are saying it'll be about a year. So maybe running into mid or late 2020, which will be 4 fucking years since the referendum, and we still won't have left. Yeah. It's a shit show. I think this would be the point at which, Kristi, are you still there?
Yeah. I'm just depressed.
Okay. Yeah, it is. It is. Imagine how it is if it's the actual country you live in as well. I mean, you'll be okay over there in Germany. We'll be literally sinking. We might actually sink into the ocean. Even though Parliament voted against sinking into the ocean, we might still have to sink into the ocean because they didn't vote for a way to not sink into the fucking ocean. Anyway. Yeah, so... what was I going to say now? Oh, yeah, this would be the point at which the clip I sent to you from the Newsnight, the tweet, which sums it up nicely. This is a guy quoting from, this was on Newsnight, which is one of the kind of flagship news discussion type in-depthy things on the BBC each night, or each weeknight anyway. And he's quoting a government minister, which, yeah, coarse language upcoming. Not that you need that warning on this show, really.
No.
You know, I'm here. And Kristi's mouth is foul.
Yes.
I mean, she really is.
It's one of the reasons I'm one of the worst people in the world.
Well, that's why I'm the second worst, because I can't swear like you.
You're catching up, though. You're catching up. All right. So
I fucking well am, absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So we'll do a sound check, and hopefully this will still sound good. Let me back up my microphone a bit, though. Okay. You want to intro this other than what you said?
No, this is basically the dude who's a journalist who spoke to a British government cabinet minister, right? So like a high up, powerful motherfucker who knows the Prime Minister very well and is supposedly working with the Prime Minister. Listen to what that person had to say. And they never reveal like the names. That needs to be a lot louder.
One cabinet minister, why is the Prime Minister holding a vote?
Kristi.
Yes, I'm working on it.
And using very strong language, this cabinet minister said to me, "Fuck knows, I'm past caring. It's like the living dead in here." Oh, God. This cabinet minister then went on to say, Theresa May is the sole architect of this mess. It is her inability to engage in the most basic human interactions that brought us here. Cabinet has totally broken down. Ministers say their bit. She gives nothing away. One side thinks X will happen. The other side think Y will happen. And the Prime Minister decides on Z. Cabinet, I am picking up complete and utter despair. I said to one cabinet minister, why is the Prime Minister...
There we go.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, I mean, the headline for that... Yeah. My favourite bit. Fuck knows, I've given up caring.
That
sums up the mood of a nation.
Yeah, it does. Who was that old lady that became famous briefly for her take on another general election? Where was she
don't
from?
know what you're talking about.
Like Barbara from South somewhere or other.
Oh God, I remember yes.
But
yeah,
she was
I can't remember
woman.
her name or where she was from, but yeah, she became briefly like one of those flash in the pan political bits of nonsense. Didn't she accosted someone? I can't remember.
A news reporter asked her what her thoughts would be on another election after the 2017 snap election, and after the 2016, I think they were elected anyway, and she was like, "Oh God, not another one!" And everyone just
yeah, that's fair enough.
So,
but we haven't had a general election in like 18 months now, so we're probably due one, I think.
Well, this is also why I was feeling so depressed, because I really don't want to have to, in the next couple months, put together funding out of I don't know where and jump into the field, given how work has been lately. So I'm really hoping there's not a general election.
Well, thank you for taking the interest of Britain really to heart there.
No, I'm
just
really
saying focused in on a really big issue. The big issue here is Kristi would be put out by this.
Quite.
So, that's a shame.
I mean, I can't deny that's part of my reaction. It's just like, oh God, here we go again. You know, I'm like Barbara from Southend or wherever. I don't think she was.
Typical selfish American. Always me,
Yeah.
me, 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 me. And that's
Yes.
true of Boris Johnson because he is American.
What?
He was actually born in New York. Yeah, Boris Johnson was born in New York.
I don't know that.
That is literally true. Yeah.
Oh.
His father was working for the World Bank in New York at the time. And interestingly,
okay.
his father Stanley is basically Boris Johnson, but in 30 years. There is no need for a paternity test there.
Oh gosh, no.
They are identical.
That is terrifying to look at when they stand side by side. Because you think, oh, maybe Boris was just an accident. But then no. It comes from a line of people who look like that.
Yeah, that's some strong inbreeding there.
Holy moly.
The depth of that gene pool is like a fucking paddling pool.
Yeah, you'd be lucky if you get the tops of your feet wet.
Yeah. Which is ironic because they've got web feet. So that's not, I don't know if that's true. That's just an inbreeding joke. Anyway, so Brexit's fucked. I love it. Yeah, fuck knows I've given up caring. Yeah, I mean, I'm slightly perturbed that a British cabinet minister has given up caring, but that's, I can't blame them either.
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, this stuff has been going on for what, 3 years now?
3 years, yeah. And it's not just that, but it's been a rumbling problem throughout British politics for decades. It's caused the death of the Thatcher regime. The Major regime technically limped on and passed the Maastricht Treaty in 92, 93, whatever it was, but he never regained any authority. It was okay under Labour. I suppose it was okay just because Labour are roughly pro-EU anyway. It caused the downfall of Cameron. It looks like it's going to cause the downfall of May. Britain and the EU have a turbulent relationship, let's say.
Yeah, but this particular nightmare of having whether or not there was going to be the referendum, but I guess then the lead up to the referendum itself, then the aftermath, and then trying to work it out, and now it's not working. I mean, when was the EU referendum? Was it 2014?
2016.
It was 2016. Okay, that's why she didn't want another election or another referendum. Yeah, so it's been going on for almost 3 years.
And I have to say, just a quick, massive fuck you to David Cameron, who's presumably sunning himself on this lovely afternoon, or possibly on a beach somewhere in some far-off clime, enjoying himself whilst the mess he created burns the country to the ground.
Yep, just cashing his checks.
Thanks, Dave, you fucking cockhead. And the Lib Dems are propping up his shitty government as well. Fuck you, all of you.
Yep. Feel a little bit better? Well, no, but
I felt better before we started. I was quite lively before we started.
Well, should we lighten the mood a little bit? Take a little break here because I've got something lined up for us.
Well, we can, but I just want to say also before we start, for all of the Brexiteer people who are really annoyed at the moment, good. I hope it hurts. I really do. And I don't say that just because, you're a bitter Remainer. No, it's because you were the worst winners in history. You took winning with the least grace of any person since probably Donald Trump, to be honest. Like, you are foul. So the fact that this is discomforting you, good. I hope it fucking hurts.
Yeah, this is what happens when you lie.
If you want to moan, I'll just use your tactic against you. Oh, you snowflake. Oh, you're so precious. You're so easily offended. See, it's not nice, is it? Anyway, sorry, go on.
That's all right. Also, now Carl won't be able to run for the EU. Aww.
No, he will. No. You've fundamentally misunderstood, Kristi. I'm going to have to go over this again, aren't I? So, get my mansplaining cap out. Yes.
If you guys are leaving on the 8th of April, you think, but no, you don't know that you're leaving in a year. Right now, you're leaving on the...
No. Yes, but realistically speaking, the Prime Minister has made it reasonably clear now that she will have to seek an extension.
Right, but there might be other reasons for an extension than a general election.
No, but my point... No, but he would... Okay. But Carl wasn't going to be running for the British Parliament.
No, that's why I said he wasn't going to get to run for the EU elections.
Okay. We're going to need an extension beyond April the 12th. And the Prime Minister has strongly indicated she will ask for that at the meeting on the 10th/11th. Right? So if that happens, that will take us beyond May the 22nd. So we will have to stand for the European elections. We'll have to put up candidates.
If the EU thinks that there's a
which means
reason
Carl will get to stand. Well, exactly, yeah, but it doesn't have to be necessarily a general election.
All right, anyway. Okay,
so
you got it. Carl might still run.
Very possibly, but
okay.
I'd be really surprised if he got anywhere near elected. But anyway,
Oh, God, no. All right. Back to, I was trying to cheer things up. So.
Please do.
I don't know if you guys have been watching on Twitter, but Dusty's been having a good go at Armored Skeptic in the last 24 hours or so, and it's been, on point. So I thought
good on Dusty for finally accepting that the correct spelling of armored is with a U. America, take note.
Yeah, the Canadian spelling.
Right, indeed. Yeah.
Yes. So he asks, remember when Armored Skeptic claimed, white supremacists don't cause violence in the same way Antifa does, unquote. Oh, Greg, you're such a moron. And then there's this video, which, again, because all of these are different, I'm not sure how the sound is, so we'll have a go and hope.
I think that white supremacists are bad people. I'm not going to argue that. I'm not going to justify anything that they've done up to this point, but they don't tend to cause violence in the US and Canada the way that Antifa seems to cause violence on a regular basis.
Yeah, I mean, they literally don't, yeah, because Antifa, might punch the other person, whereas white supremacists murder loads of people. So he's right, technically, they don't cause violence in the same way. That is true. Yeah. I mean, it's remarkably dishonest of him to claim that they are more violent, because that's just not correct.
Yes. And he's getting called on it here with some facts.
Poor punctuation and grammar there.
Kevin's all over that.
Where is the comma? Where is the full stop? Outrageous, Dusty. You've embarrassed yourself. You've embarrassed me. But more importantly, you've let yourself down.
So that was a little break for us to kind of change things up a bit.
Should I do my Florida man story?
Please. Yes. And then I'll get Adam Schiff up.
That's swell. Okay. Hang on. Where am I? There we go. Right. Sorry. Apologies. Yes. I got this. Oh, hang on. I should share my fucking screen. Yeah, this is all over the shop here. It's ridiculous.
See, it's hard to do all at once, isn't it? To talk and be on a live show and pull up stuff. It's tough. By the way, I noticed something when I was watching your recent live screen when I think you were trying to stream snipe War Corps.
I was.
And I noticed that you're using your Wi-Fi.
I am.
If you get to get a hard line and plug that in, you'll probably have a much better streaming both ways.
Okay. I don't know what that means.
When you can plug it into your router and then into your laptop?
Yes.
Do that.
Okay, I'll do that then. Okay. All right. Fuck's sake. Jesus.
No, anyway. I just noticed. And we had to fill some time here, so it was...
We didn't have to, because it's been on the screen the whole time. Right, so are we locked on me?
You are now.
All eyes on me. Right.
Always.
I got this. Under our last episode, I talked about something called the Florida Man Challenge. Was it last episode, I think, or the episode before? Possibly last one, anyway. Which is basically you type in Florida Man and then your date of birth and see what comes up, because Florida is full of mental people doing mental shit. So there's always a funny story. So someone said, someone did this and then left this in the comment section under the video. I got Florida man with no arms charged with stabbing Chicago tourist.
What?
You have my fucking interest. You have my undivided attention on this one. Because I was thinking, he's got no arms and yet he was stabbed someone. How the fuck does that work? So I looked into it because I thought, well, I'm not even sure that's real. That can't be real.
I mean, it's just a comment somewhere.
But, right?
It is real.
There's a genuine story. Which is, oh, come on now. Right. There's a slightly horrible element that it's a homeless guy, right? So it's a bit bad. But it's still an amazing story nonetheless. Right. Yes, except fuck off. Right. A 46-year-old homeless man with no arms was arrested. And now that's amazing for a start off. How you anyway. In Miami Beach, Florida, for stabbing another man with a pair of scissors using his fucking feet.
Whoa. Wow.
Using his feet.
That's okay. That's how you do it then.
Yeah. That's mad, isn't it? Florida native Jonathan Crenshaw stabbed a 22-year-old Chicago man twice with scissors before running away.
What? Wow. Wow. So he stabbed him, then got up and took off. That's amazing. Wow. He should be in like Cirque du Soleil, but as opposed to stabbing people, you could do it like to a cushion or something. That's amazing.
It goes further, right? Crenshaw is a local fixture known for painting colourful works of art with his feet.
Okay. I've seen that.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just he's got no fucking arms.
No.
It doesn't, and not just that, but he never at any point explains why he doesn't have any arms. There are so many more questions than answers here, but I just love the fact that he stabbed someone with his fucking feet. Genius. But he has now been charged with aggravated battery, a second-degree felony, so he's going to prison for a long time.
Yeah, that's not good. It's really too bad because he's got such dexterous feet. I'm sure because of his practice with painting, and then to use his powers for evil.
But exactly, yeah, he's used his powers for evil. That's yeah. I just thought that's an amazing story. I mean, it beats out my one, even though my one was quite funny, which was the guy going around trying to find exotic endangered turtles to eat.
Oh, right, he got arrested.
That was strange.
Poaching, wasn't he?
Something like that, yeah.
Actually,
should we do another? I'm in the mood for Florida, man. Name a random date. Name a random date.
How about today, the day you were meant to leave Brexit?
Okay, right. 29.
You have to show your screen again too.
Oh, am I indeed? Right.
Oh, while you do that,
well, it would help if I put Florida.
I'll shout out that
anyway,
Random Geek said that he's doing a live stream tomorrow at 7 p.m. GMT on the channel Social Justice Alchemy, and he's got a link in the chat.
Yeah, I shouted it out in the week. He's very good. Florida man believed he was half man, half dog.
How are these headlines? Okay, keep going.
Drunk Florida man yells, "Come and get me," to deputies and is arrested. Okay. Oh, God, this one's quite horrible. Florida man kills parents and brother after being kicked out over theft.
That's a...
Hang on. Oh, we've got best Florida man of challenge headlines of 2015. Let's just have a look.
Okay, well, then you're definitely going to have to show your screen, though, Kev.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I've totally forgotten.
That's all right. That's why you're co-pilot.
You are. You're Kristi, take the wheel. Florida man covers himself in ashes, says he's a 400-year-old Indian, crashes stolen car.
He had a good night.
Florida man puts dragon lizard in his mouth, smacks people with it. What? What the fuck is that?
What is happening in Florida, people?
Florida man steals $4,000 worth of chicken ribs.
Wow.
$4,000 worth. What?
It must have been crates of it.
A random bit. Florida man on bath salts headbutts car, slaps fire chief.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Drunk high Florida man. I think that drunk and high can be taken as a granted in all of these, really. Drunk high Florida man post video on Facebook of themselves driving around at 3 a.m. with wounded, possibly endangered owl. Florida man impersonating a police officer pulls over real cops. Amazing.
I would swear that was an Onion headline.
It's genius. Florida man bitten by snake that friends say he enjoyed kissing. Oh, for fuck's sake. Florida man high on meth jumps on strangers' cars, surfs them.
Ooh.
As
Yeah.
you do.
People do car surfing. It's pretty dangerous.
Oh, God. Identical twin Florida men arrested after getting into brick fight.
I think you're picturing the Three
Jesus.
Stooges there.
Yeah, basically. Florida man steals clothes. Oh, fuck off. Go away, came down to goodness. Right. Florida man steals clothes, bites security guard, flees in gold convertible.
So much detail.
These are ridiculous. Florida man steals operating table from hospital.
Go to July 2nd.
July 2nd. Florida man dressed as pirate arrested for firing musket at passing cars. What the fuck?
Second Amendment, baby.
Oh, fucking hell.
July 14th.
Florida man steals $2 million in Legos. That's fucking hell. That's like a literal house's worth.
Yes.
An actual fully sized house worth of fucking Lego. Florida man flees library on scooter after smelling women's feet.
Ew.
Florida man sets up fake office to steal people's identities. Urine.
He wanted to steal their urine and their identities. Wow, that's a
Jesus. This is the dumbest criminals ever thing. Florida man on the lam, but dials 911 is arrested. That's genius. That's genius.
I did read a story. Sorry, can I interject with a non-Florida man? I think this was in a Wisconsin paper. Maybe someone will find the actual story. But a guy came home to find that his house had been broken into and a bunch of his clothes had been stolen. So he called the police, and the police came over. And as they're going through, they say, you know, what's missing? And he realizes a pair of jeans that are in the room aren't his. So the cops pick him up and they check the jeans, and it's got a mobile phone in it. And they go, well, this is probably the guy who stole your clothes. He just took off his jeans and left them behind, didn't realize. So they dialed, like, mom, and they went and picked him up.
Oh.
Because he left the phone and his jeans that he liked the other pants better. So he left his phone behind.
That's amazing. A couple more that are just still on the screen.
Yeah.
Florida man stands in store parking lot waving at customers, masturbating.
Ooh.
So wanking with one hand, waving with the other.
Kevin, of course, had to paint the picture for us.
You gotta, yeah. I mean, I am an investigative reporter. I get to the truth. Right. Genius, this one. Florida man under extreme stress forgets how to stand.
What?
Oh, I'm crying. Oh, a few more. I'm in the mood. I don't know what. Florida man catches shark that bit him, pledges to eat it.
Oh, wow. Revenge.
Yeah, I mean, that is...
That's very Florida.
Okay, the last couple then. Florida man high on flacker. What's flacker? Do we know?
No idea. I'm not hip enough. I don't know the new drugs.
Rams car into jail to visit friends. Yeah, you're probably going to have a lot of time to visit those friends later.
Yeah, right next to him.
Florida man crashes car into business while trying to time travel.
Oh, God.
Oh, Florida never change. No, actually, no, change a lot. Change a lot. Yeah.
Really?
Oh, forgets how to stand. I don't even know what that means. That sounds like a really terrible excuse. Like, I'm not drunk. I've just forgotten how to stand.
I'm so stressed. I can't. I don't know how to work my knees.
Oh. Anyway. I feel better now.
Good.
It's probably time for something depressing now, isn't it? Now I feel better.
Well, not so much depressing, but newsworthy. We're going to look at the Adam Schiff clip.
Schiff clip.
It is, yes, the Schiff clip. It is a 5-minute long Schiff clip. so we don't have to watch the whole thing.
A Sargon of Schiff. Come on then.
Yeah, basically. All right. I've got almost everything set up. Just have to swap the screen and hope my speaker is still on. It turns itself off after 15 minutes, so that's why I always have to struggle with it. Okay, I tested this a little bit before. Hopefully it'll sound okay.
I'm going to turn to our witnesses who are the subject of the hearing today, but before I do...
Sorry, I should say, for context, Adam Schiff is the chairman of whatever committee it was that Devin Nunes was chairing. Well,
the House Intelligence Committee.
Yeah, I wasn't sure of the precise name. So yes, House Intelligence Committee. And
I'm just explaining to a politics scientist from America.
I don't know who chairs every single committee. I study I study elections, not the workings of Congress. There's a lot of them.
You're gonna be here for the next fucking month, then, aren't you? Because it's gonna be a general election. Yeah, basically. All right. Anyway, Adam Schiff took over, and he has been a vocal critic of the president and been saying about, reported facts in the media and what they are natural conclusions are when you have things like, Russian people offered Donald Trump Jr. dirt on Hillary Clinton, and he accepted it. He didn't call the FBI. He worked with a foreign power. Since the Barr summation, the 4-page summation of a report that goes anywhere between 300 and 1,000 pages, Republicans have been trying to exonerate the president, and all of the Republican members of this committee have demanded Schiff's resignation because he said mean things about Trump based in news reporting. Yeah. It's
ridiculous. It's completely ridiculous, and so Schiff has decided to address his colleagues, and that's what we're watching.
And as you have chosen, instead of addressing the hearing to simply attack me, consistent with the president's attacks, I do want to respond in this way.
Fuck off.
My colleagues may think it's okay that the Russians offered dirt on a Democratic candidate for president as part of what was described as the Russian government's effort to help the Trump campaign. You might think that's okay. My colleagues might think it's okay that when that was offered to the son of the president, who had a pivotal role in the campaign, that the president's son did not call the FBI. He did not adamantly refuse that foreign help. No, instead, that son said that he would love the help of the Russians.
So we need to pause it, because the last time we tried to play something on C-SPAN, freaking Vice News tried to demonetize the video and claim the rights to it, even though it clearly says on the freaking video it's C-SPAN 3. Anyway, what? Go ahead.
I was just going to say, we shouldn't be surprised that Donald Trump Jr. didn't do that, because Donald Trump Sr., as he is now technically rather than his dad, anyway, Donald Trump Sr. Literally came out and said in a fucking press conference during the campaign, Russians get into her hacked emails.
Yeah, and then
he was literally asking them to do that, which, as far as I'm concerned, is a little bit treasonous, but whatever.
And we learned from the subsequent investigations and trials that they found out the Russians hacked into something the next day after he said that. So, so anyway, Donald Trump Jr., not a patriot. He's loyal to his family, not to the country.
You might think it's okay that he took that meeting. You might think it's okay that Paul Manafort, the campaign chair, someone with great experience in running campaigns, also took that meeting. You might think it's okay that the president's son-in-law also took that meeting. You might think it's okay that they concealed it from the public. You might think it's okay that their only disappointment after that meeting was that the dirt they received on Hillary Clinton wasn't better. You might think that's okay. You might think it's okay that when it was discovered a year later that they lied about that meeting and said it was about adoptions. You might think it's okay that the president is reported to have helped dictate that lie. You might think that's okay. I don't. You might think it's okay that the campaign chairman of a presidential campaign would offer information about that campaign to a Russian oligarch.
Just by the way, Devin Nunes of Devin Nunes' Cow fame and Devin Nunes' mom. Go follow them on Twitter.
I was about to say, is that the guy that's related to the cow?
Yep. That's
Yeah.
Cowman. That's
Okay.
absolutely him. Oh, I need to lock on me so we don't swap back and forth because I was picking his nose with my cursor.
I
That's
thought
fair.
hadn't Nunez resigned? Has he not
Oh.
resigned or something?
Sadly, no, he has no shame, no integrity. And his voters, although he lost, he won by a lot less than before, his voters returned him to Congress.
Oh,
He represents a crappy part of California. Okay.
In exchange for money or debt forgiveness, you might.
He seems much more like a Florida guy to me.
He does get that Florida vibe off, doesn't he? He's got that feel about
I could
him.
see him crashing into a building, trying to time travel, or
or
he's
trying
suddenly
to
forgotten
chase
how
after
to.
alligators or crocodiles. I think it's alligators there.
I think it's alligators because of the Florida University, the Gators.
Gators, yeah.
That would make sense.
I could see him.
But anyway, he's forgotten how to use his spine, so maybe he would forget how to stand. I don't know.
As well, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I think that's okay. I don't. You might think it's okay that campaign chairman offered polling data, campaign polling data to someone linked to Russian intelligence. I don't think that's okay. You might think it's okay that the president himself called on Russia to hack his opponent's emails if they were listening. You might think it's okay that later that day, in fact, the Russians attempted to hack a server affiliated with that campaign. I don't think that's okay.
Yeah, we get that.
You might think that it's okay that the president's son-in-law sought to establish a secret back channel of communications with the Russians through a Russian diplomatic facility. I don't think that's okay.
He just lays out so well how the Trump family has more allegiance to Russia than it does to the American people. It's terrifying.
He's already mentioned Paul Manafort. Paul Manafort was in the pocket of the Ukrainians. Flynn was in the pocket of Turkey. Like the idea that these people have put America first is fucking laughable.
And yet Fox News holds them up as, the great white hope.
Yeah.
You might think it's okay that an associate of the president made direct contact with the GRU through Guccifer 2 and WikiLeaks and is considered a hostile intelligence agency. You might think that it's okay a senior campaign official was instructed to reach that associate and find out what that hostile intelligence agency had to say in terms of dirt on his opponent. You might think it's okay that the National Security Advisor designate secretly conferred with a Russian ambassador about undermining U.S. sanctions, and you might think it's okay he lied about it to the FBI. You might say that's all okay. You might say that's just what you need to do to win. But I don't think it's okay.
And I think any patriotic American would agree that the GOP is definitely now protecting Putin's puppet above the interest of American democracy. And so I'm really happy with this Adam Schiff speech.
Yeah, I sense a pattern. Better say. There's a rhetorical pattern that's emerging here.
Yeah. Do you want to finish it up? Or, we don't have to, but I guess we should hear a little bit more of his rebuttal before the GOP starts jumping in and trying to interrupt him. So
play as much.
I think it's immoral.
Damn well wish.
I think it's unethical. Okay. I think it's unpatriotic. And yes, I think it's corrupt and evidence of collusion. Now, I have always said that the question of whether this amounts to proof of conspiracy was another matter. Whether the special counsel could prove beyond a reasonable doubt the proof of that crime would be up to the special counsel, and I would accept his decision, and I do. He's a good and honorable man, and he is a good prosecutor. But I do not think that conduct, criminal or not, is okay. And the day we do think that's okay is the day we will look back and say that is the day America lost its way. And I will tell you one more thing that is apropos of the hearing today. I don't think it's okay that during a presidential campaign, Mr. Trump sought the Kremlin's help to consummate a real estate deal in Moscow that would make him a fortune. According to special counsel, hundreds of...
Yes.
Trump lied about, I've got no business dealings in Russia. What are you talking about? No, you're talking shit.
Months and months and months. And then it was like, of course it was a deal. Oh. And nobody in his own party holds him accountable. This is the problem. This is how fascists rise. They get power, and then the people around them don't hold them accountable. They protect them.
The Emperor's New Tower.
Yes. Yes.
Of millions of dollars. I don't think it's okay that he concealed it from the public. I don't think it's okay that he advocated a new and more favorable policy towards the Russians, even as he was seeking the Russians' help, the Kremlin's help to make money. I don't think it's okay that his attorney lied to our committee. There's a different word for that than collusion, and it's called compromise. And that is the subject of our hearing today.
Well,
Mr. Ambassador, you recognize.
And then they start fighting. So, but yeah, I mean, that really needed to be said. And it's too bad that he's not a little bit more, passionate. But of course, he's in his chairman position. And so he's has to be, a certain decorum has to be maintained. So even Elijah Cummings, who gets really passionate, kind of has to try to keep it, contained.
Cummings. So that's my valuable intellectual contribution
to that. Yeah, I just felt like it was a really perfect summation of all the things that justify continuing investigating Trump and looking into this. This isn't over because a guy wrote a 4-page report. That's not how this works.
Well, exactly, and it's not over on the basis that if this completely exonerates you, why are you trying your damnedest to hide it?
Precisely. This is it.
As you said, it's a complete and total exoneration. So
show us
that to it.
Yeah.
Yep. And if it does, fair enough. But I suspect that just like his tax records, they wouldn't be as squeaky clean as he likes to claim.
Oh no, or his asset assessments, his financial documents. They're not as big and impressive as he wants them to be in reality either.
That's it. Oh, I'm saying he's got a juicy ass. That's true.
All right. So, do you want a little War Corpse now?
I do. I wanted to have a look at this other War Corpse video. Now, I know we did one last time, and this isn't going to be an every time thing, but I've been on like a little War Corpse kick lately.
You sort of rediscovered him, huh?
Funny. And, yeah.
So AOC is actually going.
Sorry.
You can go back to the. Hang on. What?
I was
Shut
just
up, War Corpse. Stop fucking interrupting.
Yes.
Yeah. You read over him to the fountain, and it's still there, and it's still doing its stupid thing. And I did a stream snipe him during the week, and he's an idiot. And I didn't realise he films most of his stuff. It seems early in the morning, drunk, right? Which sounds bad, and I thought it was at first. But he works nights, so like me, early in the morning, like 10 in the morning, is 8 at night
when you're coming home from
So
you're chilling out.
Acceptable. Yeah. And we got a proper the mini fridge. We saw the mini fridge.
Yeah.
He went out for a piss at one point. Actually, he went out for a piss twice. But he went out for a piss at one point, and the chair swiveled round, so you could only see it in like profile, and it revealed the full gloriousness that is the mini fridge. And we saw him take a beer out of the mini fridge, and I can't lie, it was a transcendental experience for everyone. I think. Yeah.
I'd forgotten about the mini fridge until you brought it up again. So thanks.
Well, that's blasphemy. How can you forget about the mini fridge? All hail the mini fridge.
All hail the mini fridge. All right. So I'm just going to share my screen. I've got everything set up here. So, yeah, we're just going to start at the beginning. You don't have a timestamp?
No, just go.
Just raw War Corpse. Just start and play.
With War Corpse, it's always raw.
All right, here we go.
So AOC is actually going to what a fucking...
Now, I know he's shouting, so is that about loud enough for you?
Yeah, and he was being recorded live all the way from Minnesota. It was that fucking loud, so yeah.
All right, I've got the chat open, so if it's too loud or quiet, let me know, chat.
Socialist dictator she wants to be. She knows she can't get through.
Right. he says, right, this is her way of, she reveals that she wants to be a socialist dictator. Now you might think, well, what has she done that's so dreadfully terrible? The results, they may surprise you. They're not necessarily as horrific as you might want to make out.
Okay.
Her bullshit through any legal means. So instead, she's going to basically try to shame people into doing what she wants. Here's the problem, though. Nobody gives a fuck with this fucking 29-year-old nitwit.
Yeah.
Well, for a start off, people do this on the right. They're obsessed with her and they call her a nitwit. But she clearly isn't stupid. Like, you might not like her, you might not agree with her, but the idea that she's stupid is ridiculous. Yes. Obviously.
Well, the thing is, they don't understand her, so they blame her for their lack of understanding.
Yeah. Absolutely. And because they can't mansplain directly to her, no matter how much you try, Ben Shapiro, she's not going to talk to you, you twat. You're just going to have to use the AOC body pillow you've bought, argue and pwn the shit out of that with facts and logic. Hello?
Yeah, sorry, I just slipped.
Did I cut out there?
Slipped for a second. That's what she said.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, indeed. She slipped it in there. Right. What was I going to say? So the idea that this is her wanting to become a socialist dictator, and yet all she's doing is supposedly shaming people. Now, I don't know about you, but the reason I don't like Stalin is not because of the shaming.
No, that's not really the thing that people really complain about when they talk about dictators.
No, it's, I mean, the vast majority
abuses,
the millions of murders were one thing, but oh god, it was attacking my political viewpoint and making me feel bad in public. Oh no.
She expressed an opinion on Twitter. Ah.
Well, WOMs are not allowed to do that. We know this.
Not according to War Corps
land.
That's not happening in War Corps land.
The world according to War Corps.
Because he knows what time it is. Oh wait, no, he doesn't, because he took all the clocks off the wall.
Well, that's because in War Corps land, it's always War Corps o'clock. Right. You don't need watches. It's all good.
It's always Miller time.
Well, quite literally, yeah. From the mini fridge of holiness.
All right, hitting play.
Literally, the poll on her should.
What?
I was just going to say, I was going to do like a really silly joke, like spreading its frosty goodness over a small area, or some silly fucking pseudo-religious thing. But never mind. The moment's gone. You've killed it.
I think it was already dead.
What is her best feature? Perky tits or her nice ass?
There we go, War Corps. No, needless bit of sexism, always thrown in for extra, just for good measure with War Corps.
He really can't think with one head only. The other one always has to be engaged. I think this might be why he's a little bit off, is because he's always battling for that blood supply, that oxygen.
Yeah, because his head's always full of beer, and that's both heads, by the way. He's got his cock in a pint as well. That's just the way he rolls.
Take that mental image out of your mind now.
Who are we to question the great and powerful War Corps? If he wants to dip his dick in some cold brew, that's his business.
And he does. All right, allegedly.
No, literally.
Anyway,
I'm saying it literally. Screw me, you cunt. Sorry, go on.
Basically, she's trying to shame banks into doing something about guns, immigration, and climate change.
So that's it. That's literally it, right? She's put social pressure on businesses to do the things she wants them to do, and that is her trying to be a dictator. You fucking cretin! What are you talking about?
Yeah. She's expressing an opinion on how institutional power could be used to improve things rather than make them worse.
Well, which makes she's basically mad.
Yeah, I mean, she's almost the worst person in the world for that.
Yeah, she's the third worst.
That's the offensive thing, is that she's encouraging banks to think about an ethical position on guns, immigration, and climate. That's so profoundly outside of
I mean she is the embodiment
of evil.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So let's see how War Corps then spins this into hysteria. This should be entertaining.
Basically, they're trying to. And I don't get this. Why do they?
That he doesn't get most things.
How quickly did he back out of that sentence? Basically, I don't know.
But I'm still angry. I don't understand what this is, but I'm still angry.
Well, that's basically the Conservative position. I don't understand this, but it's angering me.
Yes.
So that's it. So it needs to stop.
Yes. Whatever it is, stop making me angry. This is the most important thing.
Because you wouldn't like him when he's angry.
No. Or angry.
I mean, especially because War Corps is quite literally about to burst out of that shirt. So that's a different thing. But
let's hope not.
Let's hope so. Let's hope so. Imagine that. So every vagina in the house will be wet. It'd be lovely. What are you talking about?
Or shriveled up. I don't know. Could be me.
Well, or like the Sahara. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. That would be more accurate, I think. All right, let's see if he hulks out of his shirt.
Put her on the House Financial Services Committee. Like, do they draw names out of a fucking hat?
No,
anyway.
no, they don't. He said, I don't know if he got cut off there, but he said, how do they select these people for the committees in the American Parliament? And you could have just looked that up, War Corps, because when I watched this video last night, before sending it to Kristi as a thing, I looked it up, and it's done initially by the parties themselves based on who's got the majority in the House, and then it goes to a confirmatory vote of both of the Congress for pre-approval, but they're very rarely challenged. So that's how that happens, War Corps, which you could have looked up. They don't just pick them out of a hat at all.
No. Yeah. So I was taking a swig of water when he was saying that. That's why I didn't jump in.
It's because he's making it so hot, obviously.
No, I'm just drying up here in front of him, so I have to keep hydrated.
Yeah, you're making every orifice dry up, War Corps. What are you doing? Like? You're so repellent. Women are becoming desiccated.
Just listening to the sound of his voice.
Yeah.
See, now that's a motorbike.
Yeah.
That's a Cologne motorbike. There you go.
Yeah, in Cologne, I just imagine everyone drives, even old ladies driving around in fucking Harley Davidsons or something.
That would be so fun.
And every single person's in like a fucking weird jamboree band that just randomly roams the streets for some fucking reason. 2 in the morning.
Yeah, that pretty much sums it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can skip your visit to Cologne now. You know it.
Yeah, that's the Tuesday. That's a Tuesday.
That's
just
a Tuesday. Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so let's
imagine what they do for New Year's.
Yeah, explosions all over the city.
All
right, here we go.
They discourage them from funding oil pipelines, firearm makers, and private prison companies that operate immigration detention centers.
That sounds like a good idea to me.
Yeah.
It's ethical business.
Yeah, I don't see there's a problem with what she's doing there.
Oh my gosh.
War Corps does, because she's WOMS. So she must be opposed at all steps.
Even if she has good intentions, she must be opposed because every idea of her must be bad because she had it. It's their new Anita, basically.
But yeah, she is. She's the new Anita, and she's going to be there for years. So, strap in.
Yep. She's basically, they know Pelosi is leaving, and Hillary Clinton is, fading from public view, even though Trump keeps dragging her out. So they need a new woman to demonize.
Yeah, about the Hillary thing as well. Would they let it fucking go?
I know, no kidding, right?
16. Like, Jesus Christ, who cares?
Lindsey Graham is up there. It's down in Mar-a-Lago saying he's going to investigate her. Like, you investigated her how many freaking times already? You wasted how many millions in taxpayer dollars? And now you're covering up for Trump. Yeah.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Yep. Okay, getting back to War Corps.
I've already covered all this. Here's the thing.
Drink.
By the way,
everyone
drink. And by the way, he hasn't covered all of this. He literally hasn't. I looked through his videos. He hasn't covered this.
Okay, all right.
At all. He just goes, "I've covered all of this." Takes a big swig and just moves on. Okay.
In his mind, he's covered
it. In his mind, he's covered this. But that's the thing with the increased alcohol consumption, he becomes stupid, and that's the thing. The mini fridge giveth and it taketh away. So.
But again, with you, when you interacted with him, whenever you made a good point, his reaction was to change the subject or to put some sort of ridiculous hypothetical that was outside of, it was like a marginal case at best, if not completely unlikely, because he can't deal with like being wrong about stuff. So.
Yeah, and when I was stream sniping him during the week, I got him to respond to me because I'm that way inclined. So I was doing a bit of live trolling of him in his chat. And,
did you go to the chat while you were on your channel? You were fucking with because I watched the first bit of it when the video was all fucked up. I'm like, I'm gonna watch this later, but then I never did. Sorry.
Well, you should go back and watch some of it.
I will.
Good. And Ashley jumped on to debate him at one point as well, which was fucking weird. Yeah. Anyway. So yeah, I was trolling him, and he said, "Oh, well, I've already dealt with you. I destroyed you in our debate."
No, you like dodged and weaved and never had a good point. And Kevin was so light with you, and you were so gentle with him. You did not just nail him to the wall even once, and I was dying for you to do that, and you were so not that, having that debate.
Because he's not. The thing is, he's not an evil person. Like, we'll do that to various other people because they're fucking horrible operators. Whereas Walkup's just an ignorant prick. Like, he's not actually a bad person. He's just a stupid person. So I don't really wonder. But yeah, in that whole stream as well. The whole stream was him going, "Why won't Kyle Kalinske debate me?" Because he's never heard of you. Who the fuck are you?
Why would he?
Like, yeah. I mean, I'd love to have Barack Obama on my channel, but why won't he come on? You've got to understand your place to some degree. Like, bigger channels do go on smaller channels and stuff. I mean, we've had the great and powerful Carl of Swindon on this channel, so it happens. But that's rare, isn't it? That someone much bigger than you is going to randomly appear. That's you got to understand these things.
Certainly not strangers on the internet who do this as a profession.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, he can have actual debates with actual people. Like, in theory, he could debate like another big YouTuber. Why would he bother debating you fucking drunken idiot? He'd look at one of your videos and go, "This man's an idiot." I mean, he's got an amazing mini fridge. I'll give him that. But other than that, he's full of shit. What the fuck are you talking about?
Nothing going for him.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you want to have the mini fridge on my show, absolutely.
Anytime, bring it on. We're happy to have the mini.
That would be amazing. Imagine that if Kyle Kalinske invited the fucking mini fridge on. That'd be genius. What a great troll. Sorry, go on.
Okay, here we go with War Corps.
This is what AOC said. This is what she told Politico. There's more than one way to skin a cat, and not everything has to be done through legislation explicitly. We can also use the tools that we have here to pressure change in other ways as well. You are not...
Wait. So she wants to be a dictator by not taking over the laws.
Yeah, exactly. And not just that, but I like she's got to be very careful with what she says, because saying there's more than one way to skin a cat, I would not be surprised if somewhere on the internet blogosphere someone's going, "So she's in favour of skinning cats now.
I'm sure
Evil cat murderer." I'm sure. So.
It's just, she's demonstrating she's the opposite of a dictator, because she's not saying we have to over-regulate everything. We have to do everything through the state. She's saying we can do things through other... Yeah, he doesn't think much, does he?
He does, not just that he doesn't think, he doesn't know. So even if he did think, he wouldn't be able to do anything about it.
I have hope. Really. I have hope if you kind of led War Corps to some well laid out arguments, and maybe he would actually get there. But
I don't know.
All right, let's going on.
Not going to get a bank. I guarantee you that fucking CEO laughed his ass off at you when he left.
No, I bet he didn't.
He doesn't know shit.
I bet he thought, oh, okay, well, that's an actual legislator who's got some harsh things to say. She's got a high media profile. If she came out against us, that wouldn't be good. I bet they took it actually quite seriously. They might not do what she's asked, but there's no doubt about it they would take that seriously.
Of course they would. As a member of Congress who's on has the ability to vote on legislation for them.
Yeah.
That affects them. So
and she's on the House Finance Committee. So yes, they would obviously take that seriously. I mean, they might in private, they might go, "That's a ridiculous thing. I'm not doing it," but they wouldn't laugh at it because it's not funny for them.
Definitely not. No. And there might be, you know, for some social groups might start putting pressure if they found out banks were providing financing for private prisons, which we know are horrible. Yeah. And they wouldn't want the negative press. These are issues. Indeed. You know, if you're funding polluters that contribute to climate change, then people might look at you, give you a bit of a side eye. Why are you making money off of destroying the planet? It's just consequences.
Indeed.
Right. Okay, hitting play again.
And I love how you can't ban guns, but let's cut off funding to gun manufacturers. Then you know what's going to happen? You're going to you are going to doom the Democrat Party, lady.
Not financing people who produce guns is going to hurt the Democratic Party. How?
Yeah, I don't think Walkups has thought that through enormously, to be honest. But
if a bank decides not to provide backing to a gun manufacturer, people won't blame the Democratic Party if there's no law associated with it.
Yeah, it's the bank's decision. And also, look, he acts as if the AOC is the Democratic Party. She isn't.
Exactly.
Her Green New Deal is not universally accepted with the Democratic Party. All of her platform is not universally accepted. And whoever the future presidential campaign nominee is, almost certainly won't be in political alignment with AOC's thinking, by and large.
But Kevin, you are in touch with reality.
Yeah, exactly. But in War Corps land, it doesn't matter. Reality's old hat.
People just treat all Democrats as if they're AOC in War Corps land.
Yeah, in War Corps land. In fact, in War Corps land, there aren't different people. There's just like 250 AOCs in Congress, yes, or whatever the number is.
They all look the same. They all have the same policies, and they're all women.
They're all in that white pantsuit as well. They never change from that look.
Pretty much. That's, well, you know, I think his wardrobe doesn't have much variety either, so he might relate on that level. Kind of got the t-shirt look going, mostly.
But at least that pantsuit looked crisp. I mean, look at him.
Oh.
Jeez. I mean, I appear on camera looking like an old scruff as well, but, you know, I don't go around going, "Oh, well, what's better, her tits or her ass?" Like, I thought you were having a political discussion here.
For a moment, I had a panicked image of War Corps in a pantsuit, and that was just bad.
War Corps for Halloween, please. That would be amazing.
Going in Hillary Clinton pants.
In the what? Well, no, dress up in the white AOC pantsuit from the State of the Union. That would be amazing. Well, oh, please. Oh, please, War Corps.
Just go down the runway, work it, own it.
Oh, yeah, you sent me that fucking
RuPaul.
What's the show? RuPaul's drag race. Yeah. Which wasn't about drag racing at all. I was most disappointed.
Well,
but yeah, some of that was fucking mental.
Isn't it?
And I looked at a few. Yeah, I looked at a few more, and I looked at a few more clips online. I just thought, I don't know what this is. Why am I watching? It's amazing.
It's on Netflix.
They played one. No, on just on YouTube. I watched
it is on Netflix. So you should watch it there.
Oh, is it? Okay. I don't know if it's necessarily my cup of tea, but they had this weird bit where in one of the videos where they were doing like what's it called? In Britain it's called, was it blankety blank? But I don't know what that's called in America. But anyway, that bit where they have like various celebrities and there's a sentence.
Oh, the Snatch Game.
Snatch Game, yeah. Which is that what it's actually called?
Well, it's based off of it's a pun on an old American game show called The Match Game that had like Phyllis Diller on. Right. It was like a really old show.
In Britain, that show was called Blankety Blank. It's the exact same format, but yeah. So anyway, the Match Game, the Snatch Game, right? And they had them all dressed up as different like celebrities and stuff. And one of them was doing an Elizabeth Taylor, I think it was, or something. And It was just, oh my God, I just thought, this is amazing. It was really good, but it's obviously like a bloke in a dress. But it's still like a really good version of it. It's really funny. But I don't know if I don't think I'm its target audience though. I don't think anyone's going to be surprised. I don't think I'm part of the demographic there.
Well, the thing is that I don't know that I'm part of the demographic, but maybe it's the sociologist in me. For me, you could watch it as a show about, just people
Oh,
competing.
don't talk shite. Maybe
No,
it's
it's
the
true.
sociologist.
It is
You're watching
okay.
it because it's campy and funny.
Yes,
Sociology.
and
Stop.
I've learned there are different elements of drag culture. Like there's classic, or maybe call it old school drag, which is the very sort of vaudevillian, the humor kind of drag. But then there's another subculture, which is the pageant scene, where they do beauty pageants. And then there's sort of like the new school, which is more focused on like Instagram and social media. And so there are all these different
Yeah.
elements of drag culture that I had no idea about before all of this.
Yeah, and people watch porn for the fucking storylines. Come on.
Do you know what?
We know what's going on here.
You like this one? Do you know? What did you hear the phrase "fishy"? Used at all?
No.
A very fishy dress, or she's so fishy. It's
No.
like, because there's different types of ways of doing drag. The category for drag queens who try to look like cis women, really go after that look, are called fishy, because it's like vagina. They want to have vaginas or look like they had to. So yes, so there's you can call it, there's all kinds of lingo and norms and everything.
So there's quite a misogynistic streak within some of it. Then.
No, I don't. That's again, it's like the Snatch game. It's all about playing. It's calling, gentlemen, start your engines and may the best woman win. There's no, I mean, it's very fluid in terms of how gender and pronouns are used, because of the culture of being both women and men and dressing and feeling fabulous, but then also, operating in your daily life as a lot of gay men. Lots of gay men. So maybe I'm more bisexual too, but there's a lot of gay men in the drag scene. So
is that?
Oh, yes.
I didn't know that.
So you need to watch the show. You need to learn.
It's a joke. It's a joke. I learned that there's lots of gay men in drag, obviously.
I don't know how much.
Not
you know
all
about
of them,
the
of
drag
course.
scene.
Not all of them, of course, but please, I'm the fishiest motherfucker out there.
I would love to see you in drag. I'd love to see you glammed up. Maybe not in the
I've only
heel.
ever dragged it. I've only ever dragged it up once, and I won't be doing it again. Me and my friends went to see a production of the Rocky Horror Picture Show in a theatre, and they're like, "Oh, let's all get dressed up and go and do the thing." The performance was very good, but I was in fucking weird, not heels as such, but as much as a fucking big fat 6'1" guy can do heels. Yeah, and it was just very uncomfortable. Sorry, women, I don't want to dress like you. It's horrific.
That is true. The shoes are brutal, because they all do stilettos.
Yeah, the shoes are brutal. The weird tight clothing was uncomfortable.
Corseting.
But I've got proper tits now, so like, I mean,
no, that would go over well. You just push them up and have a plunging neckline. You do sort of a Jennifer Lopez thing. The green dress. Yeah. I think if you did it properly, I think you probably just did it in a mirror, and it probably wasn't, because it takes a long time to get the makeup right.
Well, I didn't do the makeup.
No, you just wore the heels and a dress?
No. I had makeup on, but I didn't do it. One of my friends did. I had to be dragged kicking and screaming along with this plan to begin with. So it was like my friend's girlfriend, I suppose, technically, did the makeup, and I was like, okay, whatever. It looks amazing, but it's me, so I don't know. But I had to shave my fucking beard off and stuff. It was horrible.
Oh, you do that from time to time anyway. But that is to say, if you're ever feeling a bit low, I would just say go to RuPaul's Drag Race, go to the last 13 minutes and just watch from there to the end, where they do all the puns and all the outfits come out, and then they do the judging. And so what I do, because at the end they have like the lip sync challenge, where the bottom two queens have to lip sync for their life, and whoever does the better performance gets to stay and the other one has to sashay away. And then they kind of have the finish of that, and everything wraps up. So once they start singing, I watch a little bit to see who I think is going to win. And then I just skip to the next episode, because, it's going to tell me who won. So it saves me a bit of time. But anyway, if you want to just watch those last 13 minutes, it will really cheer you up.
Okay, but what's the competition element of this? What are they fighting for?
Oh, right. Oh, well, they're to be the drag queen superstar for the year, as crowned by RuPaul. So they started off
Wow.
usually with 14 girls, and they do challenges every week. They usually have like an initial challenge and sort of like a fun challenge, and then they have another challenge, maybe acting like the Snatch Game, or it might be making a music video, or doing comedy, doing stand-up or a roast, and then they also have a fashion challenge. And then one girl goes home every week. So
Right.
how did we go from War Corps to drag queens? I think it was his
War Corps
t-shirt.
in drag. I want War Corps in drag. That's how we got there.
That's right. I wonder if we would recognize him if he was done properly. If he, like, shaved and
He'd still look like he'd just be an orangutan in a fucking dress. Yes.
you'd be surprised at some of the transformations. I bet if he, would really sashay down the runway, really, give it
No,
the
because
butt.
it's still War Corps. He'd roll down the fucking aisle with his hairy arms and legs and just.
No, I'm kind of picturing him.
I'd love to see it. Don't get me wrong, but I can't see him being I can't see him passing, dear. I can't see.
Well, I'm just picturing him in a sort of like a silhouette sort of mermaid thing, maybe that flares out, and then he sort of leans over and tries to twerk.
I'm seeing him in a fucking black bag.
All right, so should I hit play here? Should we get off of this topic?
By the way, for the Americans, that's not a racial comment. So I don't know if that translates. A refuse bag. It's what I'm saying.
Thrown out with the trash. Thrown out with the trash. Right, sorry. War Corps is trash, right? Okay, let's see where we went off on a crazy tangent, but that's okay. Getting back to this guy.
You're gonna have a one-party system, but it ain't gonna be yours.
Fuck's sake, straight doesn't miss a beat. He doesn't miss a fucking beat. You got to share your screen, by the way.
Oh! Just screaming War Corps. Yes, thanks. Sorry, I got distracted.
But he doesn't. As soon as you press play, it's just straight away.
Fair enough. I won't go.
The mental dog. It's like the mental dog down the road or something. Like as soon as the owner opens the door, it's gone and it's biting children. Just doesn't miss a fucking beat.
You need to put him back on screen to see his visage. Yes. All right, here we go.
Like I don't know who to blame for her.
What?
You got the Justice Democrats. I think it's the media. They made her this little darling.
What about the people who voted for her and put her in Congress? And then it was the conservatives who turned her into a poster child. So it's really you guys, people like you, are to blame. Isn't that where he should be going with this, Kevin?
I would think so, yes.
Yeah.
Also, I like the fact that, again, we've got another white right-wing piece of garbage on the internet who's mentioned the Justice Democrats and the one Justice Democrat they know.
Yeah. Name the other 7.
Yeah, exactly. There could be as upwards of 4. So,
All right. Getting back to this ranting.
Before anybody knew anything about her, because she's young and pretty, and that's fine.
That must be why he's covering her, right?
Yeah. And also, I have to wonder, War Corps, if young and pretty is the only characteristics, why haven't you been selected, mate? Because you are stunning. Glorious. Oh, God.
You should run for Congress, War Corps.
I mean, I can only assume he's only just become eligible age-wise in the last 10 years or whatever for the presidency. I presume that's the natural next step for the War Corps star.
Oh, yeah, him and Carl, they're on like the same political career path.
Well, he is, like Carl, he's only one step away from Trump, so.
All right, so hitting play.
She's pleasant to look at. I wish they would pass a resolution where she couldn't wear clothes.
Oh, God, he can't not think with his dick.
Yeah, again. And also, as much as I know he's joking there, which one of the two seems more dictatorship? The forcing a woman not to wear clothes, or the politely asking that banks don't do a certain thing?
Yeah, inviting bankers into your office to talk about the sort of ethical concerns about how they conduct their business. Versus, yes, sexual humiliation, exploitation for his... Oh, God, he's so gross.
He is. He's the creepiest motherfucker around. But again, I do have to wonder, War Corps, why haven't the Congress passed that law about you? I mean...
No, we know why.
Maybe there's just too much sexiness for America to handle.
All right, Kevin wants to... If you go to Britain, you have to walk around without your clothes on, War Corps.
Yeah, exactly. Because, I mean, you'll probably get captured and taken to the zoo, but...
You should get a resolution in Parliament for that. Have a debate on that, Kevin, on International Men's Day.
Well, exactly. I mean, I'm looking forward to the Wexit, where War Corps exits life.
Oh no! All right, give me
That's a joke. I
Yes.
don't want him.
Yes, a joke, a joke.
Okay, he exits the internet, let's say.
There we go. All right, back to the screeching.
Something enjoyable to look at. But the problem is, she's got a fucking chasm in between her fucking two ears.
He's saying this. He's saying this.
Yeah, it's he's a remarkable idiot, isn't he?
Yeah.
And like I say, I mean, all I'll say is War Corps. She's younger than you and has achieved way more than you ever will. So if one of the two of you is stupid, I don't think it's her.
Exactly. She's in Congress and you're shouting in your upper room.
Yeah. And I don't look, I don't look, you don't have to be in Congress to be considered a successful person or whatever. That's fine. But I mean, if you're going to compare yourself, that's, well, wait, technically he wasn't, but he's saying that she is stupid. Well, you know, you don't look favorably compared.
Here's the thing. She took out an incumbent in the primary. She took out a Democratic incumbent. Do you know how rare it is to unseat an incumbent? It's, and then, you know, of course she was going to win the general, but, you know, the idea that she was somehow not smart, it just goes against all the evidence from how she conducted her campaign and herself to win her district. And that's what she's doing. She's representing her district, and he's demonizing her like as if she's just sort of the cipher for the media when she's representing the people who voted for her.
Yeah, exactly. Like, she has a constituency that voted for her, War Corps. She may not be electable in Minnesota, but in New York, the people of the 14th district decided, you know what, I like the cut of her jib.
Yeah.
So they went with it.
So if you have a problem with it, take it up with the voters, not with her.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
There's nothing in there. And she says insane shit like this.
Again, this is a guy from the Meatball Apocalypse.
The Meatball Apocalypse, absolutely.
But she said stupid shit.
Yeah, exactly. The man who said something so stupid he had to apologize to one of the states of the union.
Sorry.
Again, it just. Yeah, exactly. Hawaii, my bad. Imagine that. Imagine saying something so stupid you offended a state. You had to apologize, and then accusing someone else of being maybe not so great with their words and their thinking thoughts. You know, come on, behave yourself, you fucking twat.
Self-awareness, 11 on a scale of 1 to 10.
Exactly, but it's definitely AOC with the gap between their ears. Oh, yeah, absolutely, of course it is. Yeah.
The woman who brought up some of the most powerful questions to Michael Cohen, despite there being people around her who had been in the Congress for years, and she just nailed it on Trump's finances, or it was the financing of his golf course. Yeah.
And not just that, but I mean, they've been going on about recently, like they've done national polling and stuff, and her popularity is like not great amongst like white men, which is not surprising. But also you've got to bear in mind that like she got like really high approval ratings from huge amounts of the country. Now, considering she's been around so little amount of time and has not really done that much because she hasn't been around that long, those numbers are amazing. She has virtually no sort of national, I don't know, not gravitas, but like she hasn't got like a record behind her of stuff. And yet she's got support from people all over the country in various different demographics. That's amazing.
Well, it's a strength.
That's actually a really impressive thing.
You know, I mean, they give her far more attention than she would have gotten otherwise from Democrats if they didn't hate on her so much.
Yeah. It is the Sarkeesian effect, actual Sarkeesian effect rather than the movie, the shit movie. All over again, where they've made her in shocking counterproductivity. They've given her so much more publicity and therefore support than she would ever have gotten as a freshman congresswoman from a relatively minor district in New York.
Yep. They're doing this to themselves and they're complaining, why is everyone paying attention to her? He did the same rant, as you point out, about Sarkeesian when she went to speak to that developers. She got an award for contributions to game development or whatever.
Yeah.
I remember.
Oh yeah, I'm talking about people getting awards and stuff. Did you hear that? You know Jesse Smollett, the actor chap, and all that. Well, you know he was let off.
Yeah, well, they dismissed the charges.
Yeah, and they right wing have been losing their shit.
Yes,
well,
they
in
have.
what I can only assume is the most delicious piece of trolling ever. They've nominated him for like Actor of the Year or something.
Really? For his performance in
Yeah.
Empire? Or whatever show it was?
I believe so. But yeah, and they've invited him to the thing, and I hope he turns up and gives a speech. That'd be amazing. And I hope he wins. Not because I think that what he did was okay or anything like that, but I just love the right wing losing their fucking shit about it. Again, you want to call people snowflakes? I'm going to revel in your fucking, misery.
Well, yeah. And also just the hypocrisy of, Trump claims that he's had these allegations made against him, and now they're not proceeding, and he's a victim.
Yeah.
The same thing happens to this guy, and because he's black, let's face it, it's because he's a black man. This is an outrage, and he's going to use his FBI and the Justice Department to do what exactly? I mean, it's just this racist dog whistle, and he's using it. He's just, it's fucking racist. Whatever you think of the Chicago thing, what Trump is doing to exploit it is racist. So, of course, we knew he was a racist.
Right, and what the right wing in general are doing is racist as fuck, because they're going after him because he's a black man.
Basically, yeah.
They don't give a fuck about the crime he committed. They don't really give a shit about any of that. If they did, they'd be going after Trump and his family for all the crimes and stuff. It's in the same way that they found a way where they can be racist as fuck or aggressive as fuck towards a person of color or whatever, where they have at least plausible reason for it. Like with illegal immigration, they can say, well, they're illegal. That's why I'm not saying it because they're brown. That's silly. No, it's because it's illegal immigration. Or with fat positivity, right, or fat shaming. They'll say, "Oh, we're doing this because we care about the health of these people." No, it's not. It's nothing to do with our bigotry against fat people. No. It's because we care about their health.
Yeah. And on this, bullshit, Trump saying, Trump is an unindicted co-conspirator in the same case that Michael Cohen is going to jail for. And he did everything at Trump's direction. So they just have to wait until Trump is out of office, and then he will be an, indicted co-conspirator, where they're just waiting. He committed the crime. Someone else is going to jail for a crime he told them to do. So yes, he is guilty. And there is evidence of his crimes, and not, and that will, anyway, sorry. I'm just
any Congress and Senate worth its salt would impeach the man, so he could be indicted.
Well, yes, yeah. I mean, I think the House investigations are still going forward, and who knows? Like they might kind of be waiting for. Well, we'll see. I mean, there might be more of a clamoring after the Mueller report from the public for there to be impeachment hearings. And I think at this point it might take more citizen activism to push Congress on this and make it an issue. But anyway, I don't want to get too far off of field of war courts. So, gonna hit play. All right, here we go.
Like, you really try to get gun makers defunded? You're going to cause a fucking, you're going to cause a red tsunami like you've never.
No, like, that's not defunding them. Defunding them is taking away their money, not lending them money. It's just not doing business with them. Again, it's like everything is deplatforming now. Anytime anything happens to a right-wing person, they've been deplatformed. And they're making the word meaningless.
Basically, yeah.
All right, so I wanted to ask you too. I know you're on a bit of a schedule tonight. We're at an hour and a half. So do you want to just do a little bit more War Corps and then wrap it up for the night?
Yeah. Or we could just. I'm free for another half an hour, but yeah, we can either carry on or leave it there because he doesn't really say a great deal more.
Okay.
I mean, it's stupid, but it's not really different. If that makes sense.
It's just more War Corpsy. More War Corpsing.
Yeah, exactly. So he will make appearances intermittently in the future. But I just wanted to do that a little bit.
All right. Well,
also, there's never a point where a bit of mini fridge doesn't hurt. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, we didn't get to the mini fridge, but we know it's there. It's there for us if we want it.
Well, it's not just there; it's in my heart.
So he goes again. Tell us what happens. What to look for.
And once it's in your heart, it never leaves.
The fridge is in the heart. So, hey, you know that thing we were just saying about white conservative reactionary types and their victimhood narratives?
Indeed.
Ah, well, we're back to bookmarks. You know that we run out of ideas when Kristi goes back to the bookmarks. But I don't know if it's seen or CN, but anyway, he had this great tweet that says, "It's cool how conservative academics spend so much time railing against victimhood culture while simultaneously playing the victim more than anyone else." And here's Prager saying, "Perceiving oneself as a victim may be the single biggest reason people hurt other people." And then here's PragerU saying, "We're facing censorship on all sides. 100 of our videos are restricted on YouTube. We've been banned from advertising on Spotify. We've been banned from advertising on Twitter. Some videos have been removed on Facebook. Give us money so we can fight back." And then they're all victims here with the tape over their mouth.
Yeah, and in my series, the latest episode thereof, I looked into the charitable fund, and they've got over $6 million. So if you give PragerU any money, you're an idiot.
They're funded by a bunch of reactionaries. I don't know. Is this Coke money? PragerU?
It's one. No, PragerU is mostly Wilkes Brothers,
Right.
fracking billionaires.
Got it. Yeah. So that was on point, basically.
Yes. Yeah.
We did the Greg thing. We did the Schiff thing. And I think I had a couple. Oh, did you see this? Assimer for white liberals on Twitter too?
No.
All right. This is pretty funny. This circulated. It's pretty entertaining. No, where'd it go? Oh, stupid thing. Sorry, I'm going to have to scroll down again, everyone. Zoom. And pause it. All right, we don't have to do well, it's 2 minutes long. It's not quite that long. I just hope we don't get none of those warnings. Don't stop stop broadcasting or you're going to kick you off. Okay. So This is, I don't want to reply. All right. Sorry, everyone. This is Assimer for white liberals.
Hi. Welcome to ASMR for white liberals. It's me. A real black guy. I'm here to help you get rid of some of that white guilt. Let's begin. You're one of the good ones. Everyone's saying it. All of the black people at your job love you.
That's genius. And I love the black hair on microphone.
Yeah, the subtitle.
That's the sound of the hair you've always wanted to touch. And we love it. We love it when you do that. None of us think it's weird. It's pretty good. You had sex with a black person. That means it's technically impossible for you to be racist. Good job. You hear that? That's the sound of the trophy you deserve for not being racist. Good for you. We're so proud of you. You're such a good person. You're better than the rest of them. We love you. Green Book was a good movie. It's the best movie since Crash. It's okay that you talk like a black teenager online, even though you're a 37-year-old man.
Oh my gosh, he knows Carl.
Yeah.
Sometimes the language Carl uses is not British in its cultural origins.
Yeah.
So.
Yes, Queen. Yes, Queen. That's it for ASMR for white liberals. Catch us next time. And remember, if you say the N-word and no one hears it, did you really say it?
So that was on Twitter today.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was fun. Yes. I don't know if I have. Oops, that's the video itself. Oh, I see. It kicked me over to the video and out of my bookmarks. Oh, and a little bit of doggy, and then we've got getting a haircut.
Ah, that's a happy dog.
Yeah, he is a happy dog. I'll lock on my screen. Sorry, people, I forgot that. There you go.
And I'm that blonde bombshell.
Yes. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Appreciate you stopping by. Hope it was a good mix of serious and fun, as we always try to do here. The things that I didn't get to in my bookmarks, I will be getting to this Sunday in the newly titled show, Weekend Winters, starting at noon, but it's noon when our clocks go forward.
No,
so
I thought it was spoopy boopy time or whatever the fuck it was.
No, it wasn't
I don't
brunchy
remember.
wunchy or brunchy. What was it? I can't remember. Brunchy wunchy? I don't remember with Kristi.
Yeah, I don't know.
But anyway, that's going to happen at the new 12 o'clock my time on Sunday. So please check the video so you don't show up an hour late. And Kevin, what's coming up on your channel?
Death and destruction, quite literally. Yeah, I'm going to be doing at 7 p.m. UK time. The latest, the episode for March of Let Them Eat Cake with Mark Stutchbury and the Cognitive Society. Which we'll be talking about horrific shite. Then at some point, the Christchurch episode of Descent of the Manosphere, and other stuff.
So more Kevin content coming your way.
Quite so.
All right. So then all that's left to be said then, I guess, is that I've been Kristi. People in the chat have been awesome. People
No, they fucking haven't.
Have been awesome. And Kevin has even been awesome.
I haven't checked a single word they said, but I can guarantee they weren't awesome.
Someone just said smoochy poochie in the chat.
That's it. It's smoochy poochie time or whatever the fuck, yeah. Okay.
See, the chat rescue you. Oh, and also Steve Shive's patron hangout is this Sunday. So if you want to go watch people talk to Steve, you can do that. But you might want to wait for his ask away. But that's a fun too.
You can.
All right, yeah. So I'm saying goodbye. So goodbye from me and goodbye from Kevin. Say goodbye, Kevin.
Goodbye, Kevin.
Nice. You did the bit.
I did the bit.
Bye, everyone.